AV assembly. You make planes and you fly them. It's sick. New game. Standard. Okay. It's a game where we make planes. Alright. That's it. Let's make a starter plane. Cockpit. Fuselage. Fuselage is storage. A bit more storage. Should be good enough. Let's get a wood wing. This is our starter plane because we're broke as shit right now. We have 400 bucks. Hold on. Hold on. Do we even have enough to buy 2 tail wings? Fuck it. That shit is not aligned. Great. I'm pretty sure there's a way to like duplicate it. Oh, mirror. Mirror, there we go. I actually end up playing this off stream because it's so fun. There we go. And then this mirror. Bang. Beautiful. Beautiful. Starter plane complete. Oh wait, do we need wheels? Oh no, we need an engine. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense actually. Center of gravity. I think the wing needs to be slightly ahead of the center of gravity or something. I remember. Let's give this motherfucker some wheels. There we go. Should be good. That's it. Oh, we need fuel. No, we don't. The fuck is a strut? What is that? I don't care. Alright, let's go. Bang. Start our plane. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay. Oh. Fly, my plane. Fly. Okay, they're teaching us controls. Why is it so quiet? Wait. Let me mute my own audio. The music you hear on the background of my stream is literally from this game. Not the song though, but you'll see. Just weak as playing, can't even go that far. Can't even go that quick. Oh my god. Slow down, please. Beautiful landing. You go to airport, they give you a new quest. Oh, you gotta finish it. Delivering batteries. Sure, I got it. I'll do that for you, bro. Refuel. Yeah, what do you say? What do you say you needed? He needs 2 small batteries. I can do that. And that's it. That's the whole game. And as you play the game, you slowly deliver like bigger and bigger shit on bigger and better planes. Because you kind of have to, because like you have to fly further distances, carry heavier loads. Yep. And by the end you're like flying jets. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, alright, okay. This plane is the plane that's bad, by the way, just putting it out there. Yikes. Okay, there we go. See, that's the game. It's the plane that's bad, by the way, just letting you know, it's not my fault. 2 medicine to the turbines, which is okay. So you want okay. That's the game, and this shit is fun as fuck, man. Yo, it's minimalist games like this that's like the shit, bro. I'm gonna be honest. There we go. Banger game. That's it. This is the whole game, by the way. Okay, let's cut power early. Oh, let's come in for a smooth landing. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Beautiful. 2 medicine. Please don't slam into a tree. Don't slam into a tree. Oh, up. Bang. Look at that. What the fuck's happening? What the fuck is happening? Oh, it's fine. I meant to do that. Look at that. Smooth reversal. Incredible plane flying skills. Holy shit, I'm a talent. Dude, I think I remember way back when on stream when I played this game ages ago. Oh. There were people asking me to please. Oh, beautiful landing. There were people asking me to like go play this game again for ages after that stream. I didn't have the heart to tell them that, fellas, I finished the game, which is why I'm not playing it again. But you know, it's been long enough since I played the game on stream that like I feel like I can play it again and it doesn't feel like there are two small batteries. It doesn't feel like you know, it doesn't get boring. You know what I mean? Alright. Whew. And now I do this. Ooh. Never heard of this game. Yeah, bro, it's like some small shit. Where the fuck am I going, by the way? Oh, that way. Ah. But yeah, bro, it's just like some small, like some indie shit released like last year. Like really the only coverage this game ever got was because Joe Bart played this game. That's how most people found out about this game. But other than that, like no one knows about this game, but it's so fun. This shit's peak, man. Look, yeah, every now and then they give you parts to upgrade your plane. Like here's the thing, like if I try to deliver... Oh, what the fuck? Me last night with your mom, be like... That's the plot of the game, by the way. That's the main plot of the game. There's an earthquake and everything went to shit and you're flying around to help them. Alright, give me... Oh my god, what's this heroic music, bro? Okay, give me some good shit. Right now, our wings are really garbage. It can't even go quick. Bang, we need some better wings. Edit plane. Recognize this music? This is me. This is the shit you hear in the background. Okay, we got some better music now. But yeah, we need more fuselage, right? Oops. Oh, I'm broke. Okay, don't need that. How much more space do I need, man? Do I not need that? Or do I need that? Actually, it's fine, right? Look, there was a tech I found out about ages ago when I played this game for the first time. Oh, bro, I'm broke. Oh, my guy's broke. Oh, fuck. You don't really need... What I found is that you don't actually need... all the parts a usual plane would. Okay? You don't really need landing gear. You don't really need tail wings. Fuck that. You just need hopes and dreams. And your shit will fly. Make the fuselage bigger to fit more cargo. I don't have money, bro. Okay, fine. Fine, bro. I'll go with the bitch ass wings. I'll go with your bitch wings. Oh my god. Fine, I'm getting more fuselage space, bro. Stop telling me. Oh my god, annoying. Let's get some fucking... Let's get the tail wings back in here. You know what? Oh, I can't. No money. Dude, why is my guy so broke? Look, here's some tech I found out. The tail wings can serve as landing gear. This is some incredible tech, by the way. Plane's no wheels. Fuck you. Don't need that bitch shit. Watch this. It is a bit slower at the start. It is it is just a bit slower, but hold on. She'll fly, I believe in her. Come on, baby. You can do it. Oh. Oh. She's just a bit slow. She's getting up in age, you know. Come on. Lift off, please, lift off. Lift off! Lift off! Okay, alright. Okay, let's not. Maybe not. Okay. What's the problem? Was it too heavy? Oh, this is the background music. This is the shit. Oh, it's because the wings are too far forward. You suck, bro. This is some insane taxi. Flame gets it, bro. Wait, hold on. Flames gets it. Hold on. Bro, wait, bro. Look. This will work. Trust. Wait, just hold, bro. It's because my wings are too far forward. Now it'll work. It's just a bit slow, but trust. Please. It's already faster, bro. I can tell, bro. Please. Okay, it's picking up speed. Please. Fuck! Okay, it's because there's a rock in the way, bro. There's a rock in the fucking way. Wait. It'll work. It will work. Okay, wait, hold on. That's I can fix this. Trust. It's because the front's too heavy, okay? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'll just move it to the back. No shit, but then no, the plane needs to point up or else it won't take off. Fuck. Okay, wait. I got this. We'll make it point even higher up. Okay, we'll just move this even further forward. Look. This will work. Watch this. Now this will work. Now I feel it. And here's the thing. Instead of going right, we'll go left. Just add the wheels back. No, bro, it costs too much. I'm trying to save money in this hole. No, watch this, bro. It will work. You gotta believe, bro. Alright? Oh, okay. Now we know not to go right because there's a fucking rock there that'll block us. Dude, the thing was about to lift off. Okay, now dude, it's picking up some serious speed. Watch this shit. Don't slam into a tree. What just broke? What the fuck just broke? What? Oh, the propeller. Alright. Okay. Alright, okay. Let me sit my stupid ass down. Okay, fine. Okay, alright. Okay, yeah, I get it. There we go, wheels, okay? Make the fuselage bigger. I can't. I don't have money. Wait, do I? Wait, no tail wings? No tail wings. Fuck it, no tail wings. Now she'll fly. Bro, it's because there's more fuselage. It's just heavier. Okay. It's a bit unstable, but it's fine. She'll fly. Oh my god, we're fucking running out of fuel quick, bro. Is the plane's heavier? Wait, what do we need to do? Batteries. Okay. Oh my god. We're going too quick. I can't land. Uh-oh. Perfect. Smooth landing. Beautiful. Was it? 4. Oh my god. We don't have space because I had to remove one. Oh my god. Wait. Did anyone need medicine? No, it didn't. I dared to deliver batteries. Okay, so I had to go here. Okay, my bad. You're so good. Thank you, bro. Beautiful landing. Dude, what is this? Reset this airport. Okay, there we go. Because we're on an awkward position. We can reset at the airport. Refill again. Dude, it's because oh my god, whatever, look, it's fine. Here's the thing, bro, motherfuckers will hit on me, but then they won't. Motherfuckers, not on me, they'll hit on the plane without realizing how incredible and goated this plane is. Look at this thing, bro. Like, at the end of the day, it flies and it's economical. What do you need? 4 small batteries. Okay, well, I can't. Reset at this airport. And then, where I gotta go? I gotta go back. Turn around, okay. So turn around is kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. How do I even do that? Oos. Yes, now take off. Beautiful. Yes, U-turn on the ground. Now take off, please. Thank you. Beautiful. Holy shit, I'm a fucking master pilot, bro. I've been saying that. Okay, let's not. Oh my god, this shit's unstable. I'm a fucking master pilot, man. God damn. I am an architect. I am a fucking architect. Holy shit. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you get it. I'm so cracked. I'm cracked at this. Thank you. Incredible landing. Now we have more money. Now we get some incredible shit, right? No, okay. Let's deliver medicine. Oh shit, refuel. Wright brothers will be proud. Exactly. Why didn't the Wright brothers think of this plane design is what I'm really asking. That's the real question. Look at this. Look at this. I call it the tube. It's a fucking wing tube because it looks like a tube and it has wings. Why didn't the Wright brothers think of the wing tube design is what I'm thinking. Holy beautiful landing. Do not crash. Okay. Oh my god, look at this. 5 toilet paper rolls glued together. Exactly, bro. I'm asking, why didn't you think of this? Reset. Okay, what do you need? 2 big batteries. I can't even take one. Oh my god. Deliver 2 tools? To who? All the way over there? 6 kilometers away. Can my guy even go 6 kilometers? Let's try it. Can you fly 6 kilometers, brother? I'm gonna need you to. You're gonna have to figure it out. Take off. Beautiful. The toilet paper plane flies as beautifully as ever. It's not gonna make 6 kilometers, right? I'm gonna have to make a pit stop. Alright, okay. Who's? Village. Okay, sure. Oh my god, everyone wants shit from me, man. I'm a hot commodity. Everyone wants a piece of this ass. What do you want? 3 fruit, 5 medicine. I can't even carry 5 medicine. 5 small. I can't carry any of that. Dude, my plane's too bitchy, bro. Lumber camp. Okay, we'll try and do the tools thing first. Lift. Take up. Move up. Lift. Oh my god, that terrain's helping me fly. Please don't crash. Holy fuck, I clipped through it. Alright, W. Oh, this is a fucking... I'm a fucking architect. Holy shit, look at this plane. Would you trust Hydrope as your passenger, as your pilot, by the way? The next time you have to take a flight? Would you trust Hydrope? Look at that. Thank you. Look at that. You wouldn't feel a bump on the flight. You wouldn't feel a fucking bump. Tools, 2 tools. Bang, beautiful. Trust you with my life. Exactly, bro. You'd fly the smoothest you've ever flown ever. Or 2 tools. Okay, we're gonna go here. We're gonna stop here, and then we're gonna go there. Okay. Beautiful. Bang, and we are facing the right way too. Okay. Yeah, we're not making that in one go. Oh my, dude, our fuel's draining so quick, man. Maybe I'd go high. Is going high a good idea? I don't think it is actually. Never mind. Dude, are we even gonna make it there, bro? To the halfway point? Yeah, we can. Wait, what if I trust in the power of the glide? Of getting an insane glide? Fuck it, I'm risking it. Low fuel, fuck it. We're gonna get an insane glide. We're making it there in one stop. Come on. Oh my god, we have fuel to spare as well. Oh. Please, mi compadre. Oh, and a beautiful landing to touch. Oh my god. I am a fucking architect. I'm just gonna spam that voice line. Beautiful. Yes. And we got scraps so we can upgrade the plane even more too. Let's go. Okay. Take me back. No, fuck you. Take me back. No, not this airport. To base. Give me a big, beautiful new plane. Give me... I recognize the music. Yes, that's my background shit. Okay, you know what? This plane was great. Okay, first thing we need more space. We need at least 50, and we now have that. A new cockpit. Do we have that much money? Can I splurge? Delete the whole thing. New cockpit? No, that's the old cockpit. Wait. First, let's get scraps. Oh my god, we deal with the whole thing. Okay. We should have upgraded our plane first before doing this. Can I undo everything? Get my old plane back? Oh, fuck. Yeah, I know. I think it has a bit more than no wheels, buddy. What the fuck? I'm pressing a space bar. Holy shit, it's taking off. I am a fucking architect. Okay, my bad. Okay, research. Let's unlock some new shit. Balloon is crazy. What the fuck? Who's using that? Okay. We do not need new wings. We already can afford these wings. Dude, these wings are just stronger. That's the main... And they have more lift. Okay. What do you want? We want a better propeller, do we? Fuel tank. We need that. Give me that. Small fuel tank. Do we want another engine? Let's fucking get another engine, bro. Fuck it. Air brakes? Ooh, wait. Should we get air brakes? Brake in the air? No. I trust in my expert piloting. I don't need no pussy brakes. Cockpit. You can carry more, and it's only slightly heavier. I might have to. Oh. What do you want? What do we want? I might just get a better engine, bro. Where was it? I mean, propeller? Oh, yeah, the engine propeller. How much better is this? It's not even that much better, bro. Look at the thrust. Dude, it consumes more fuel, and it's just only slightly better, dude. It's kind of ass. I'm not getting that. Okay. Let's then just get... It's not even that much better, bro. Oh, steel wheels. Fuck that, I'm good. Rear wheel. Let's just get an air brake. Fuck it. Alright, we're good. Alright, let's fly. Goofy ass. Alright, okay. Okay, none of this. You have a new cockpit now? What? Did I not buy it? Oh my god, I didn't buy it. What the fuck? Am I too broke? What the fuck? I didn't buy the new cockpit. I'm a fucking moron. Whatever, it's fine. Wait, can I still buy it? Shit. Oh, I want to buy a cockpit. How did I just forget, bro? No, I can still buy it. Okay, there we go. Huge plane coming. Incredible plane coming. You do this. Oh, look at that fucking cockpit. Now that's a cockpit if I've ever seen one. Need fuselage. We need 50 storage. Okay, we have 50. Clean 50. And we can keep the plane small now. Cause small plane flies further. Oh, nice big fucking wing. Mirror that shit. Beautiful. Goofier. Okay, now let's get a fucking thing on the front. Beautiful. Oh, this fucker's gonna fly. Oh, this fucker's gonna actually zoom, bro. Oh, fuel tank? Fuel tank? Hello? I researched it. Oh, it's here. Okay. Okay, now this is some tech I remember from the first the game I've played. Like the game when I played this first time, you can hide fuel tanks inside the plane. Put it inside it. There we go. And you know what? We even have enough extra money for fucking tailwing. Fucking look at that. We're gonna do this shit. Okay, this shit works, bro. This is some incredible tech. Dude. Dude, where's the fuel tank? I can't wanna adjust his position. Give me that. Oh, there it is. This is what we're gonna do. Where do I put it? Let's put it near like the back to move the center of gravity. Oh my god, I'm a genius. I'm a fucking genius. I'm a fucking architect. I'm a fucking architect. Look at this shit. Oh brother, this shit's gonna fly. Like you don't even know. This is an amazing plane. This is an amazing plane. This motherfucker is going to actually dominate the skies. You don't even know. Matter of fact, do I have enough extra money? I can just get regular wings. Fuck it. No, we don't even want this because it adds weight. If you don't need it, we're not gonna buy it. Now this shit is going to zoom. I am a fucking architect. I'm a genius. Yes, I agree. Oh, we did ass. What the fuck is that, bro? Okay, I get it. I get the issue. Sit tight, fellas. Bro, oh my god, it's too heavy. Weak ass propeller, bro. Dude, what was that, bro? That's so embarrassing. Dude, what was that? What the fuck was that? Why didn't it fly? Okay. You know what? Let's move. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's just get regular wheels. Dude, that shit was incredible. Dude, I have tried the tail wing for wheel strat so many times and it's worked, bro. I do it on stream, all of a sudden it doesn't work. Oh my god, bro, pissing me off. Whatever. Dude, now it's gonna be incredible. Trust. Dude, it was good. Dude, I imagine it moving much faster, bro. I don't get it. Okay, it's because the propeller. It's because the propeller is some bullshit. You know what? Should we sell the wings and use 2 of this propeller instead? No, we can't do that because the previous wings are kind of some ass. Whatever, bro. Wait, what do I want to do? Get 1 lumber from the lumber camp. Oh, at least our fuel isn't running out so quick, right? Think about that. That's good. And we have more space. Okay, it's still an upgrade. Oh, anticlimactic, man. Oh my fucking god, pissing me off. Oh, we're gonna get a beautiful landing here. Look at this. Too beautiful. You're going too far. Alright. Whatever, it's fine. Low cargo. Wait, what do you need? Lumber. Batteries, medicine, fruit. How many batteries you need? Okay, I get 5 small batteries for you. You need lumber. Where do I get lumber? All the way bumfuck nowhere. Okay, I'll get you 5 batteries. I can do that. And I can do that now because I have more cargo. Look at that, beautiful. Up, lift, lift. Oh my god, no way, no way. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What was that? What was that? Oh my god, take off, bro, take off. Oh, it's because there's too much heavy because of the cargo. Oh my god, you're fucking kidding. You're fucking kidding. You're fucking kidding. You're fucking kidding. This is insane. Oh my god. It's on god, it's not playing, bro. I'm doing everything right. I'm just gonna say this right now. I am doing everything right. I am doing everything right. What is wrong with this plane? What is wrong with it? It's not okay. Look, okay. It's got weight. Okay, I need okay. Here's what we'll do. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay. Now I know what we'll do. Now this will work. Okay, we're gonna go back to the old wings. And now we're gonna delete this. We have more money. Now now it's gonna fly. I'm a fucking architect. Alright, bro. Alright. Yeah. That's fair. That's very so. You know what? Fair. Fairs, bro. Fairs. Wait. I'm a fucking architect. Oh well, that's what I'm fucking talking about. There you go. Oh wait, can I just put it underneath? No? No, it still touches the ground, does it? Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Now she's gonna fly. Oh, now it's fucking moving because it's got 2 engines. Oh my god. We just can't go too quick, okay? That's the only issue. Yeah, we can't go too quick. But it's fine. Just a nice steady cruising speed. This is so good. Exactly. This is good. Nice cruising speed. That's fine. You know what? Sometimes you gotta go slow and steady. That's fine. We can upgrade the wings later. Now we come in for a beautiful landing. Ooh, sped up too much. Incredible. That's what I'm talking about. Who doubted me? And we have fuselage space as well. Where are we going, by the way? Oh, that way. Alright. Ooh. Nice cruising speed. It's a nice, comfortable cruising speed. There we go. See, previously we had the concern that we were going too slow. Right? Because once we have all the cargo... See, this plane's main issue is that sometimes it goes too fast and can't handle it. Ooh. But here's the thing, because when you add weight, it slows down anyway, so it's not an issue. Beautiful. All part of my master plan. Now, what do you need? 3 fruit. I can do that. Fruit is at the farm, I believe. 3 fruit, 5 medicine. Okay, but you know what? Let's do medicine first. This airport. Beautiful. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I say I have it all under control at all times. Look at us go. Look at her fucking fly. What the fuck? Cool, man. Oh, scrap. Oh, shit. Oh, I forgot there's crap on the ground sometimes. Gotta keep an eye out. But okay, there we go. Oh, oh, oh. Just a smooth, perfect landing. Oh, what the fuck? Can I not carry 5? 5! Oh my god. Okay, whatever. I can make multiple trips. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Should I add more fuselage space? No, wait, I don't have money. No, I do now because I just completed these missions. It's fine. It's fine. Yes, slow down. I can slow down. Look at our fucking cruise, boys. Oh, 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 come down, come down. And they'll fix the speed, you're right, yeah. Oh, funny number. Reset. Yeah, you can make multiple trips, that's fine. Do that. Let's go to cruising speed. Beautiful. Just beautiful. It's really all I can say is that it's all you could ask for in a fucking plane. Who's? Oh, thread the needle. Thread the needle. Oh, oh. Between the trees? Oh my god, incredible. Wheel load too heavy? What the fuck does that even mean? What? Tell me the wheels can't handle it? Shut up. Reset. Bang. Bang, bro. Bang, bros. Oh, what is it? What did you just say? Anyway. Dude, this game was so fun, bro. I remember I had Zoom classes last year. I would just play this game during Zoom classes, bro. It's the kind of thing you can just quit out anytime. It saves your progress. This was my shit, man. For like about 1 month, this was my shit. That was fun. Anyway. Did I hear bang, bros? See, of course you wake up like a sleeper agent, bro. Holy money, man. Okay. Reset. Yeah, exactly. You're imagining shit, bro. Alright. Edit plane. Now we get more space. Bitch. What? Bitch. Oh my god, I still have more money. Is this enough, no? Oh yeah, let's move this all the way back. Oh my god, but the wheels might not be able to handle it. Bang, 2 wheels. Problem fixed, just like that. But it's looking might be too heavy now. Let's hope we can handle it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Can't be that bad, no? Can I buy the new propeller? I might have to, low-key. What the fuck? A light-ass cockpit? What is that? Oh, wait. That's a new engine? No, I need 10. Shit. This will fly, right? Yeah, it's definitely gonna fly. It's definitely gonna fly. Oh my god, but once we add weight, she might not take off. Oh, fuck, man. The wheels will be fine. I hope, man. We are chilling, though. It's like the kind of game you play after divorce. I don't know how you arrived at that conclusion, bro, but cool, bro. Oh, fruit. Deliver 3 fruit. Okay, I can do that. So, divorce game. So, you know, how did you come to that conclusion, though? You know, what does make you think divorce game? Is it like are you like, does this game seem like, oh my god, we're running out of fuel, quick, I need to add another fuel engine? Does it feel like people that play this game are trying to build what they used to have? You know, it feel like they're trying to take control. They're trying to have things in control again. So they're trying to, you know, playing a game where they have to build or like make stuff. Is that like, you know, what's happening in your mind? Yeah, we need fuel. I don't know if we need this much fuselage. Alright, let's give me a fuel. There we go. Wait, hold on. We already have fuel somewhere, no? Oh, do we not even have fuel for this plane? Where's the fuel? Oh my god, I just didn't add it. Ah, my bad. Oh yeah, 2. Yeah, I want 2, don't I? Let me fucking rotate this motherfucker. Hello? It vanished. What the oh yeah, there we go. Do this and then bang. Beautiful. Beautiful. 50 should be good, no? We'll add a bit more. If 50 things of space. We'll add a bit more, sure, fuck it. Then bang. We have a bit more fuselage, fuck it. No. No, because then I'll go for too fast. Okay, we'll have more. We move this to the back. Oh shit. Do this. I got this. Beautiful plane. You fly like a beast. The white dragon of the skies. Oh, wait. Yes, white dragon of the skies. Get it? Because plane. Yeah, you get it. Alright, bang. Take me away. Oh shit, it's sticking out like tits. She's definitely going faster, I think. Is she? Yeah, because we took off some weight. Oh bro, she's kind of nose heavy right now. Is that like she's like tilting forward on her own? What's happening? Wait. Fellas, I've had a sudden realization. Stream's gone on for 3.5 hours. And it suddenly hit me. Goddamn, I kind of want to sleep because I did wake up for the SMP thing, for the Civ event. I kind of want to sleep, but we'll call this the big stream. Oak Valley. Okay. Oh. Keep going. I've realized it's 3.5 hours, and I realized that I did wake up from my sleep. I missed out on like 1 or 2 hours of sleep. So I might get that. What time is it? It's Saturday. Doesn't matter. I don't really have anything else going on though. I did too. Do I keep streaming? Oh. Wait, hold on. Wait. Okay. Everything. Okay. I'll keep streaming if there's. Okay, if there's nothing tomorrow. No, there is something tomorrow. There is the same event, exact same time tomorrow. Oh, jeez. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna end stream now, so I can be there for that. Flip a coin? No. No, the date of the event is literally tomorrow. The first 3 days are back to back. Build day. What the fuck is that? August 27. Can I even be there for that? Yeah, I can. Oh, then 1 day break. Then 29, 30, 31. Yeah. I'll be here tomorrow. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I gotta sleep so I can come back tomorrow. Okay. I'm dipping then. I'm dipping then. But thanks for coming on the stream, fellas. It's a good fucking stream, bro. It's a good stream. I feel like we did a lot. We did the SIP event was fun, bro. Low key, it was just like a 3-hour SMP. It was chill, man. And then we got this. Dude, this game has so much good background music. Like, listen to this shit. Okay. But yeah, it was a good stream. We did the SMP stuff. We did and then we did more, bro. You know, I only realized this after I looked back through the VOD from yesterday. I have a lump here, bro. I don't even know if y'all can see it. There's a lump here. I zoomed in on it after the stream. I was like, holy fuck, do I have cancer? Because it's my lymph node, bro. It's my lymph node that's swollen. But no, because I got sick on Monday, and when you get sick, it just swells up sometimes. It's a fucking lump. Can you see that shit? Dude, that's so crazy. Anyway, whatever. I'll still be your #1 song listener. Goodbye. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But till then, yes. Stream will be tomorrow. Tomorrow, same time. Starts at the same time. Show up for that, fellas. Day 2 of the SMP. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow. As always, love you guys. And yeah, see you guys around. Bye, fellas. Thanks for coming out.
Get us all entertained. Niggas on ball, they don't know how we came. 9-9 to 3K. The shit I don't cost, gon' hop on replay. Ball hop like MJ. The bass in the club gon' cost a DJ.